come back in
staying
the
outside.
house.
I do everything for you.
Simon needs to go. I don't want him in his house anymore. He's disgusting and he's disrespectful.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss Summer House Martha's Vineyard Season 1 finale. And before we get started, Silas, I really hope that you and Jasmine are at the nearest therapist's office. I know that you've been making your rounds on YouTube, talking to content creators, trying to give your side of the story. Since you've made a complete you-know-what of yourself this entire season, you tried it. For you guys to have been only 3 months into your marriage and you're already berating your wife like that and talking to her like she's nothing, absolutely not. I was heated from beginning to end. You would not stop talking about those pants. Let it go. I was too done. I said, who does Silas think that he's talking to? And let me tell you something. If this is not a lesson in thinking real hard before you say yes to reality TV, because I'm sure that you thought that you were going to come across as the fan favorites and as really fun, but you have made yourself look like a complete fool. You look disrespectful to your wife, treating her like she's a servant. Now, a little birdie from NBC told me that filming for season 2 starts in August. So I said, well, let's go. They heard our cries and they'll be filming during peak season. Thank God. Now, I don't know if you guys are all coming back, but Silas, if you and Jasmine come back, I hope that you do a complete 180. You better come back a different person, because Silas, this was not a good look at all. This had to be a terrible reality TV debut. But between Silas talking to Jasmine the way he was talking to her, then you have Bria being at the center of drama yet again. Bria, you wore me out from beginning, middle, and end. I don't want you back. And that's no shade, Miss Mamas, but I don't want you back. I don't. You are so immature and just borderline insufferable. For you to get that mad at your friend for trying to help, I was like, are you kidding? You have no emotional control at all. You react like you're 5 years old. You are a grown woman, like, girl. It was tiring. I thought that all your antics were just childish. And no shade, but I won't be upset if there are new faces for season 2 because half of y'all wore me out. But y'all, with all that being said, let's just jump right on into it because you guys already know that we don't have a minute to spare. So it's the next morning. Everybody's getting ready for the day. Amir says that he's gonna miss everybody, and he says that he wishes he could take all of them with him when he goes back to Texas. So Jasmine's like, look, this trip has worn me out. I'm ready to go home. Like, I don't want to be in this house another day. So Jasmine storms out the kitchen. She's obviously still angry at what happened last night between her and Silas. And now Amir's asking Silas if they're good. He's like, are you and Jasmine all right, bro? So Silas says, look, I don't know. I said, Silas, please shut up. Talk about, oh, I don't know. Yes, you do know. You're the problem. So Jasmine says that her parents were never married, and because of that, she looked up to the Cosby Show and Claire Huxtable, but she's like, look, I am struggling being married. Like, I don't know if I can do this. I was like, girl, I'd be struggling too if I were in your type of marriage. Silas would have gotten it a long time ago. Absolutely not. The marriage would have been annulled. He has one time to speak to me like that. So we flip back to Silas in the kitchen. He's like, us being on vacation takes us out of our routine because I haven't had a meal since 8 a.m. I was like, excuse me? She is not your servant. And while I don't see it for Amir, I was with him when he said, dude, are you serious? You're a grown-ass man. If you're hungry, open up the fridge and make yourself something to eat. You're not a helpless child where you have to wait on mommy and daddy to make you a meal. You're a grown man. If you're that hungry, Silas, get on DoorDash, go on Uber Eats, open up the apps, and order something. But talking about, oh, well, I haven't had a meal since 8 a.m. Okay, and that's on you. So Jasmine has to cook you every single meal? Child. Jasmine, I know this recap might be tough, but again, I really hope that Silas is seeing the error of his ways and he's getting help. I really do. Because I was just flabbergasted at how he could say, oh, well, I haven't eaten since 8 a.m. Feed yourself. So Silas continues on by saying that he's rigid and Jasmine is more go with the flow. And I was like, rigid is an understatement. I have a few choice words for you, but yeah, for you to say that you're just rigid, you're a bit more than that. And I'm gonna just keep it at that. But I said, you're giving yourself a lot of grace by saying that you're just rigid. So we see Alex outside. He's nervous about his performance because since it's their last night in the house, he wants to have a nice send-off. And now we see everybody else getting ready for the African American Heritage Tour. And Alex says, I'm gonna sit this one out because I wanna get ready for the night, but you guys go and have fun. So we see everybody else arrive for the tour, and the tour guide's giving them the history of Oak Bluffs, and she was like, oh yeah, right here's where Diana Ross used to stay every time she was here in Martha's Vineyard, and she used to stay here with Gene Simmons from, I think, that group Kiss. I thought it was cool to learn that the tour guide, she and her family have been in Martha's Vineyard for generations. She was like, all my kids have been born here, like, we are legacy. And I said again, season 2, please get some legacy cast members, because that's what I thought that this show was going to be about. I didn't think it was going to be people who've only been there once or twice. And that's no shade. But overall, I thought that the tour was a nice way to end their trip. And I think that it was really beneficial for Amir because he got to learn more about his Black roots and his Black history, since he's always talking about he didn't grow up around Black people. I said, well, I hope this quenched some of your questions, Amir. But now they all come back to the house and they're all getting ready for the night. And at this point, while everybody's getting ready, Jasmine ran out to do like a quick errand. So while she's out, we see Silas call her up and he's asking her where the iron is. I said, if Silas does not stop asking about a damn iron, I'm going to scream. So now Jasmine comes back and he's complaining about how he needed help with her ironing his suit and how she was gone, should have done it before she left. And I'm like, bro, shut up. Then he brings up the breakfast from earlier. I was like, oh my gosh, if Silas does not shut his mouth. I said, he is insufferable. I think I probably would have jumped out the damn window. I was like, I don't know how much more anybody could take of this. I would have jumped right out the window into the pool and I would have started screaming and started saying, yeah, I think it might be time for a divorce. Like, I can't live like this. And he would not stop. So Jasmine and Silas start going at it, and Jasmine's like, look, our routine went out the window the minute we stepped foot in this house. Like, we were on vacation. So I was like, as it should go out the window. First of all, you guys are newlyweds. Second of all, on vacation, I'm not there to do any work. I'm there to have a good time. You'll be okay if I don't press your suit, sir, or make you every single meal. You'll be all right. You're a grown man. You have me completely effed up. I was just too done. And Silas, the way that you act, it's just so funny to me that you have the audacity to be upset at people calling you controlling. What do you think that you're giving off? You want to complain about she's not there to help you press your suit. So now we see Jasmine talking to Jordan, and she's like, look, girl, I'm going through it right now. I am struggling in this marriage. And Jordan says that she's happy to see that Jasmine is finally letting go of this facade, that everything is perfect, and that now she has her friend back. I was like, well, honestly, Jordan, it wasn't like Jasmine was hiding it that well. We could all tell that she was having issues in her marriage. The way that he acts about her getting free drinks when she's out with her friends, talking about Jordan's a bad influence, that person's a bad influence. Like, you can tell right there that something isn't right. So I don't know why you felt like she was hiding everything so well. Anybody a mile away could see that they were having some issues. So now we see the night begin. They have some guests. A few of the cast members had like some cousins and aunts and uncles show up. I got the impression that some of these guests were extras. There was probably a casting call out that said, hey, Bravo's filming this show in Martha's Vineyard. It's $100 and a Visa gift card and some free food and free champagne if you'll come out and film a scene and pretend like you're friends and family of the guests who are staying at the house. We see that a special guest arrives, and it happens to be Tasia, who is Nick's girlfriend, and Nick is so happy to see her. He's like, the fact that she just came back from Africa, she was on a 20-hour flight, and now she hopped on a plane to see me in Martha's Vineyard, that means the world. And I was like, she definitely loves you a lot, Nick, because I know that I would be jet lagged like hell. And then to get on another plane to go to Martha's Vineyard, I'd be like, oh my gosh. But Tasia's there, and I have to say, Tasia, you know that I am a braid girl, and I love your braids. Okay, they were everything. And I told you guys in last week's recap that I am quite close to someone who is actually best friends with Nick's girlfriend, Tasia. And she happened to be at Tasia's birthday brunch last week, but again, I digress. So anyhow, you have Jordan talking about, I'm seeing Tasia right now, and all I can think about is Aaliyah's song, If Your Girl Only Knew. And she's referring to the fact that Nick was in her DMs a month ago. Now, Jordan, let's just stop for a minute, right? Because I hate those women who are like, well, he tried to talk to me first. Like, it just gives very thirsty, like you want that attention. Because, girl, let it go. Nothing happened between you guys. You guys ended up having a nice friendship. Yes, he was in your DMs, but nothing happened after that. Like, enough. I could see if he was saying some real crazy stuff to you, but he wasn't. It was pretty harmless. Yes, it was flirtatious, but for you to act like, I mean, all I can think about is if your girl only knew. Like, Jordan seems quite miserable. Like, she's just not a happy person. And that's no shade, but she just seems very bitchy all the time, very moody. You don't know where she stands ever. 1 minute she's hot, 1 minute she's cold. Like, nobody has time for that. But I said, let's not make this more than what it was. And again, I'm not denying that Nick did look very thirsty in the girls' DMs prior to them meeting up in the house. But again, nothing happened, nothing escalated. So for you to act like some big scandal happened between you guys, that's not the case. I'm just one of those people who doesn't believe in trying to make things more than what it was, especially with the man. You know how some women try to act like something happened and it's like, oh, okay, so he texted you hi one rainy night in February? Like, you know what I'm saying? They'll have you believe that it was some big love affair and they had sex and all this, and the whole time the guy just liked a few pictures on Instagram and said hi. So now it's time for Alex's performance. I know that Alex is John Legend's cousin. I think that Alex's voice, it's not a bad voice, but it definitely didn't blow me out the water. I think that maybe he's nervous. I don't know, but I felt like when he was singing in the hot tub in the first episode, I wasn't blown away by his voice then. But either way, he sings, and we see that Summer is so touched by his performance that she's crying. And so she was looking at Jordan like, girl, do you feel like crying too? And Jordan was like, no, like, what am I crying about? So now the party's going along, and we see Silas making a joke about how he has to be nice to Jasmine tonight, or else he'll be sleeping on the couch. I was like, Silas, just be quiet. If you just shut up, you wouldn't have all these issues. Just keep your mouth closed, please. It just felt like Silas was determined to pick a fight with Jasmine over a damn suit being ironed and breakfast. Again, Silas, if you do come back for season 2, you better do a complete 180, because what we're seeing this season is a complete chop. And I'm really sad that you guys aren't getting a reunion, because you need to be on the hot seat. You, Bria, and Jordan. Now, I will say that throughout this season, all of the spreads have been chef's kiss, a 10 out of 10. The food has definitely not been lacking, because they had a very nice spread for this last dinner. So now we see Simon jumping in the pool with his suit on. He's like, let's party. I have to say, I like Simon. I like his vibes. He's a good time. He's very chill, carefree. He's just all for enjoying life and not sweating the small stuff. I'm here for it. Again, I love his energy. He's been the best addition to this house. Now, when Bria went inside to talk to Nick's girlfriend, Tasia, I already knew that Bria was going to be on some BS. And sure enough, here she goes talking about, oh, I'm just trying to get to know her. So she's like, hey, Tasia, when we first got to know Nick, we had no idea that he had a girlfriend. And I'm like, Bria, what is your problem? So Bria continues on by saying that we had no idea that he had a girlfriend until the second week. And also, it's just confusing to me because Nick was in several of my girlfriend's DMs. So Tasia takes it all in stride. She's like, look, Nick has been nothing but forthcoming to me. If I ever thought that he was a cheater, I'd be out. But again, I don't have any issues with my man. So what you're telling me, like, that's fine. But once again, my man has been honest with me about everything. So we're good. Now, whether or not Tasia was telling the truth or not, I thought that she handled the situation very gracefully, very well. She did not give Bria the satisfaction of her thinking that something was wrong in their relationship and that she felt a type of way. She handled it just extremely well. I was here for it because obviously Bria was trying to start trouble. And Bria, it's so funny that you don't want anybody meddling in your relationship, but here you are meddling in someone else's relationship. You don't know this girl. You just met her. How dare you? You guys are on TV, so you already know that when the show airs, she's going to see this all play out. But for you to come up to her and say something under the guise of, well, I just care, I want to get to know you, that was wrong. Again, Bria, you're messy. You're just very unlikable. I was so irritated. I was just like, girl, this is not your place. You don't even know this woman. Just met her and here you go. And when Bria said that she'd want somebody to tell her if Simon was in somebody else's DMs, I said, girl, you're a liar. Because I can tell by your disposition that you'd be screaming and trying to fight somebody if they did tell you about your man trying to cheat on the low. Bria does a whole lot of this. She's a hypocrite. Her whole attitude. I don't like it. Again, that was really messed up of you to do that, Bria. That was not your place. And also, I'm one of those people too, where if you see something, please say something, because I'll be saying shout out to everybody. I had fun.
Oh! Shout out to everybody. I had fun.
I gotta be good.
But there is a way to do everything. And you need to gauge how well do you know this person. And especially if you guys are in an environment where you're on TV, again, you already know that it's going to be played back. So there really is no reason for you to say anything. Bria, you just want a moment at all costs. You want to be center of attention. You like being a little shit starter because you just can't help yourself. But then you want to act like the victim when people call you out on your behavior. So now we flip back to Jasmine and Silas talking over by the pool. And Jasmine says, look, our whole argument today was just so foolish. It was so stupid. So Silas says, well, all I wanted was acknowledgement. And she's like, acknowledgement for what? And I wanted to know the same thing. I'm like, Silas, are you all right? Is everything okay at home? What are you talking about? All you wanted was acknowledgement over her ironing your suit and making breakfast? Like, again, Silas, it would have been you and I, because I wouldn't be sitting up here even entertaining this. So Jasmine says, look, Silas, I'm already hard on myself as it is, and you seem to add on to my pressure. Like, can you stop? So then Jasmine continues on and she says, the minute we get back to New York, we need to be on a therapist's couch ASAP. And I said, girl, if that ain't the truth, y'all needed to have gone to therapy like yesterday. That's how much you guys need help. And I'm like, for you guys to be struggling like this, and it should be your honeymoon phase, I'm just so confused. So we see Summer and Alex flirting. They both acknowledge that there is an attraction and some chemistry there. Alex says that she needs to hit him up the next time she's in New York. And Summer seems to like the idea of her and Alex being a thing. Now we see Amir and Jordan talking. They're at the piano. And Amir is asking Jordan, what is she looking forward to when she gets back home? And Jordan says, I can't wait to have some peace. So now Jordan goes on to say in her confessional that she's really happy for the friendship that she's developed with Amir and how she considers him one of her closest friends. Now I said, baby, After that stunt that you pulled in last week's episode, I'm shocked that you even want to have a friendship with Amir. You accused him of sexualizing you and saying all these comments when all he did was say that he liked you and wanted to get to know you. I'm like, okay, girl, I guess. But I know if I'm accusing somebody of sexualizing me and saying all these lewd comments, I would not want to say that they're my closest friends. Again, I feel like Jordan is miserable and needs to unpack a lot of stuff in therapy. Just my honest opinion. So here's where all hell breaks loose. Bria wanted to know if Simon could watch her dog, and I guess Simon had said no or not right now. So Bria starts blowing up at him, and I mean, she is cursing him out. And again, Bria goes from 0 to 60 like that. So Summer walks over to them. She's like, hey, what's going on? Bria's telling her side of the story. She's like, I wanted to know if Simon could watch Milo for like 2 seconds, and he told me no. So now she storms back into the house, and she's like, and don't you dare come back in this house. Like, you're done. You're out of here. And I was like, Bria, you are the epitome of irrational. Because your mood swings. I mean, you're another person. You go from hot to cold like that. You never know what's going to set you off. Nobody has time to be walking on eggshells around you. And the way you talk to Simon, I'm like, girl, you would have thought that Simon did something awful the way you were talking to him. So we see Summer talking to Simon. She's trying to get his side of the story. And Simon says that Bria constantly disrespects him. So Summer's like, look, Simon, just cool off. You guys both love each other. It's going to be okay in the morning. And I didn't think that Summer did anything wrong in this moment. I think that she was being a good friend. She was trying to diffuse the situation. She doesn't want it to escalate. She sees that Bria's being irrational, and she does not want her friend to lose out on a good relationship because of this outburst. So I wasn't mad at Summer trying to talk sense and trying to calm Simon down. I thought that was really nice of her to do, and I think that's kind of normal. If you're friends with a couple and they start fighting, you're like, hey guys, like calm down. You still love each other at the end of the day. Like, it's gonna be okay. I did not think that Summer was out of line. So now we see Bria and Jordan talking in the house, and Bria's like, yeah, and Summer's out there because she has some special bond with Simon, I guess. And Jordan, you are so miserable and messy. You definitely put that battery in Bria's back when you were like, you know, I don't like that because she's your friend. She should be loyal to you. And then, of course, Bria got mad, and I'm like, this is not about loyalty. All Summer's trying to do is just hear Simon's side of things and trying to get them to come back together. Summer is not being disloyal by trying to talk them both off the ledge. Simon looked like he wanted to leave because she was cursing him out so bad, telling him, get out of my face, you better leave this house, we're done, we're over. What if he really did say, okay, girl, you know what, I'm done, let me go back to Germany, we're over? Bria would have been crying. I feel like, again, Summer was trying to be a good friend by saying, hey, that's just how she is, you know, don't let it get to you. You guys still love each other. Like, I didn't think that Summer was doing anything wrong. If y'all felt like Summer was out of line, trying to get them to, you know, work it out and be okay, let me know down below. But I felt like Summer had pure intentions. She really wasn't trying to see them both arguing and going out like that, especially since she knows how much Bria loves that man. So again, I didn't think that Summer was out of line. And Bria, with your nasty behavior, you need to be happy that you have an ally. Somebody trying to say, look, don't leave her. She might be crazy, but she does love you. Now, when we saw them all dancing in the kitchen, we saw Bria get up on the island and she starts twerking. Then we see Jordan twerking. Now, I was surprised to see Jordan actually twerking because the way she carried on in last week's episode about being sexualized, I was like, oh, okay. Now, mind you, I don't mind a good twerk. Like, I'm here for it. I'm here for being free and showing off your body. Like, I get it. But for somebody who made such a big deal about it and claimed that they don't like all eyes on them and all the men in the house just want her and she feels a way about them all wanting her attention, Jordan, which one is it? Do you want the attention or do you not want the attention? Like, please let me know. So now we see Bria on the phone with her mom and she's crying and whining. And once again, I know her mom must be tired because her mom was even trying to calm her down. She's like, Bria, like, you know, calm down. It's going to be okay. But she's crying about the whole situation between her and Simon. And I'm like, Bria, You don't see how insufferable you are? And also, do you not realize that you have been at the center of all the drama since episode 1 to the finale? Like, you literally are the drama. And I think what really kills me is the fact that Bria has the same name as my sister. So every time I have to talk about Bria, I'm like, I hate the fact that she and my sister share the same name. I really do. So while Bria's on the phone crying to her mom about problems that she's created, Simon walks in and she's like, Simon, get out of the room. Like, get out. You're not welcome here. Like, go away. Like, just leave. Like, I don't want to see your face. She's cursing at him. Mind you, she's still on the phone with her mom. So now we see Summer knock on the door, and here's where things really go left. I was like, Summer, if I were you, I wouldn't have even walked in, because you already know with Bria, it's about to be a problem. So Bria's like, no, get out, Summer. You're fake as F. Like, you're not a friend. I'm like, you're mad at her, calling her fake because she's trying to help you and your man out? Like, are you insane? Summer, again, did not do anything wrong, in my opinion. She was just trying to help. But it is a lesson in, you know what, when it comes to couples, mind your business, because you could have good intentions and they'll turn on you. So anyhow, Summer's like, don't talk to me like that. No, Summer, here's where you messed up. Summer pushed her, and now Bria's in her face, and she's pushing her back. It's a full-blown mess, okay? Production comes in between them to separate them. You have Milo barking on the bed like he wants to hop off and bite somebody. I said, oh my gosh. It has not been a peaceful moment since Bria has stepped into that house. It has been chaos, drama, and strife. So you have Bria saying that she's tired of people putting their hands on her and disrespecting her. And she's like, it's the second time this has happened. Now I said, girl, what happened between you and Mariah, let's not blow this out of proportion. Mariah didn't push you the way Summer did. Mariah put the clothes back in your arms. Like, that wasn't really a push. So let's not drag it. So Summer's crying and she's like, I wish Bria didn't take me there, but Bria's wrong. Listen, girl, I understand that Bria took you there, but you do need to learn to restrain yourself and keep your hands to yourself. Period, point blank. I can't give you a pass. You should have just cursed her out, walked out of her room, and kept it moving. But to push her like that was uncalled for. It was. I gotta give you a spanking for that, sis, because you don't have a right to put your hands on her. So in the midst of the melee between Summer and Bria, we see Jasmine and Silas going at it in their bedroom. And Silas is like, I know you ain't talking to your husband like that. Like, I know you're not. And I was like, again, Silas, it would have been a problem. So Silas is talking about, you straight up disrespected me. Like, I just can't believe this. Like, I'm your husband. So Jasmine gets up to go to the bathroom, and Silas starts yelling. He follows her into the bathroom, and he's yelling out, I promise you your life will change. I promise you your life will change. Now, when he said that, the impression that I got was he was low-key telling her, like, stop playing with me or I'll have your butt right back in that car. That's what that gave me. I will be damned if I have anybody telling me that they're going to send me back into a bad situation. I wish you would. I wish you would. Absolutely not. Baby, I am well taken care of. I wish you would, honey. If you leave me, I will still be good. Trust. Trust and believe. I said he has Jasmine entirely messed up. And that right there, Jasmine, I'd be very concerned because we're in an argument and you low-key threaten me that you're going to send me back to where I came from, knowing that I was sleeping in a car a few years ago, we would have an issue. The fact that you could even say that is a problem. Silas, if Jasmine's parents haven't whooped your ass already, I'm surprised. So now it's the next morning and their last day in Martha's Vineyard. Everybody's packing up to go home. Amir is the first to leave. He says that Martha's Vineyard holds a special place in his heart. He had a great time these last 15 days, and he's so happy to have met everybody in the house. So now we see Bria and Simon talking. Bria's like, yeah, we had a rough night, but, you know, let's just move on. And I was like, girl, you need to apologize to him. Because you showed your entire ass cursing at him, talking about get out the house, we're done, we're over him not wanting to watch the dog for 2 seconds. You need to come a bit better than that. Talk about, oh, well, it was a rough night. Well, no, you don't say. It was a rough night because of you. You started the whole mess. So now we see Bria and Summer talk off to the side. Summer's emotional. She's like, look, Bria, I'm sorry. I was just trying to help last night. I didn't mean to get in between you and Simon. Like, I came from a pure place. But again, I'm sorry for pushing you. Like, it was my fault. I shouldn't have done that. And while Summer did the right thing for apologizing, Bria should have also apologized because how she speaks to people is unacceptable. Calling Summer fake and telling her to get the F out of your room because you're upset, that's not right. Yes, it was wrong that she pushed you, but you were also at fault for how you spoke to your friend. But Summer and Bria are back on track. They hug it out. They're still cool. I mean, Bria's a very irritating person. I don't know how she has friends. Who can put up with that? She acts like a child. So now we see Jason and Jasmine talking, and Jason's like, oh, did you have fun last night? And Jasmine's like, well, not really, because me and Silas were arguing the whole time. And then Jasmine goes on to say that she's not connecting with the man that she fell in love with a few months ago. Like, she's just tired of this. And I said, girl, how could you connect with the man who is threatening you about you'll be sorry and I'll have your life changed back every other minute because you're not pressing his pants and making him breakfast? I would fall out of love too if I were dealing with a man like Silas. So we see everybody sign the guest book, and then one by one they all leave, and now it's just Jasmine and Silas left. And as they're waiting for their Uber, Silas says that it was here in Martha's Vineyard where he met Jasmine and he asked her to be his girlfriend, and then to come back and now she's his wife. He's really happy. So now Jasmine says, look, me and Silas need to get back home, look each other in the eye, and start over. Now I said, Jasmine, to say that you guys need to start over is an understatement. Y'all need some real help. Like, please, please, I really hope that you guys are in therapy for real, because if it keeps going the way it's going, you guys will not last. And that's not trying to cast doubt or try to throw shade, but I'm sorry, sis. For it to be so early in the marriage, you guys are already having these kinds of problems. He's talking to you like this on national TV. No. But y'all, that's where the episode ends. And we are done with season 1 of Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Overall, I will give this season a 7.5. I think that the first half started off slow. It definitely picked up in the second half, but I think that what would really make this show a success is if we swapped out quite a few of the cast members, because I'm not here to watch insufferable, whiny brats at their big ages crying and whining and starting fights about nothing. Preston was the fan favorite from beginning to end. Please make sure that Preston gets adequate screen time come season 2. I felt like we barely saw Preston this entire finale episode. I was like, well, damn, where's Preston? But overall, a solid first season. I'm excited for what season 2 is going to bring. I'm glad to hear that you guys allegedly will be filming season 2 in August. So we'll get to see more of Martha's Vineyard during peak season and not in the off season when it's empty and nobody's there. But yeah, I think that you guys had a solid first season. I'm not mad at it, but definitely some cast changes for sure. And please, for season 2, please give them a reunion. The same way that the OG Summer House gets a reunion. Give Summer House Martha's Vineyard a reunion, please. I think that with all that happened, they definitely deserved a 1-part reunion, for sure. And yeah, I will keep my ears to the streets if I hear any more tea and chatter about the upcoming season that is allegedly filming in August, okay? But guys, I hope you all enjoyed my recap. Thank you all so much for watching, and you already know what to do. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all later. Bye.